Hello and welcome back. I am Damien with Project Omnia, and today I am here with another discussion video for you on Haikyuu, in particular a moment from the last match between Seijo and Karasuno. It is, that last time out before the final volley, because it's more than like one play, but it was a whole volley, right? And the flashback that Oikawa had as it pertained to, people born with more, who are born more gifted or more talented than you at something, right? So what you have to work ridiculously hard to achieve in terms of like a skill level at something, like they just might be born with the ability to be at that level. Right? They don't even have to try all that hard to be at a certain plateau within whatever skill set we're talking about. And in Oikawa's flashback, it's, he's talking to a former coach, or more so a former coach is talking to him, and he's basically telling Oikawa that, look, when it comes to people who are like that, and this would certainly pertain to Kageyama and his talent. You can't be so focused on, okay, this person is more talented than me at this one thing, because when you do, you're setting yourself up for failure when you're so focused on something that's completely out of your control. So as it pertains to Kageyama, or really anyone in volleyball, particularly the setter position that's just born more talented than you, if you're so focused on how great they are, you're not going to be able to focus on the things you need to do to be a better version of yourself, which is another crux of what he's saying, is that, listen, how good someone else is or how talented they are is a variable that's completely out of your control. You have no ability to control that, and sitting there and focusing on it and trying to figure out a way around it isn't going to do you any good. The only thing that can do you any good, especially against people like Kageyama and people who are super talented, is for you just to focus on you and how good can I be, and you believing that, you don't have these predetermined limits, that as long as you keep pushing, as long as you keep trying your hardest, you can continue to be a better version of yourself every single day, right? And that is really the only way for you to compete against these type of people in terms of something like volleyball or generally any sport, right? But really, it's a really good life lesson, and that's kind of the reason I wanted to talk about it here, even though it's not something that's too hard to dive into, and I'm not sure this will even be like a super long video, but this is something I have definitely struggled with for most of my life, and in particular am trying really hard nowadays to move forward with, is, there's a lot of things for a long time that I've kind of hyper focused on that are just things that are out of my control. I can't do anything about them, but I've always kind of focused on them, and it's kept me in a state of just, depression and not being in a good place mentally. And so then I'm not putting forth my best effort for my own self, and then it's a cycle that feeds itself at that point, because I'm like self-aware of that at the same time, and then I'm just even more down than I already was, because I'm not doing the things I need to do and I know that I need to do. But as it pertains to Kageyama and Oikawa kind of comes to this realization during the timeout and has this, flashback of it, basically because his own teammates at the time, for Seijo, are kind of sitting there fawning over Kageyama and that dump that he just did before the timeout that got Karasuno to game point. And so Oikawa at that point makes a statement where he said, he's talking about how, if you never believe your time will come, then it probably never will come, because you've already put yourself in a place where in your head it's not going to come, so why would it come? You're probably not going to put in your maximum effort. You're probably not going to be doing your best, because just mentally, like, even if you think you're trying your best, and even if physically you are putting in your best effort, mentally you've already put yourself in a place where whatever your best is already capped. You've already told yourself, this is as good right here that I can possibly get, and so we're not going to get beyond that. that. And so that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to be stuck in that box that you put yourself in, or that plateau you placed yourself on. That's where you're going to be. You can't do that to yourself. And, you know, later on during that awesome long set to Iwazumi during that final volley, you know, Oikawa has eternal thought about how, you know, talent is something you make bloom and instinct is something you polish. And I mean, that's absolutely true, you know. In terms of talent, you know, like I'm still kind of searching for mine as it pertains to this space. Like I'm trying to find my kind of place and my kind of niche, right? And, you know, once I make that bloom, I'll know it and I'll really hone in on that. And then from there, instinct, that's where you kind of find your place in a given talent and how you kind of cultivate it and make it better and hone it to a precise T, you know, like a spearhead. And it's, you know, it's just, I found it really interesting. So I wanted to talk about it with all of you guys here. And I'm pretty sure I hit the nail on the head for what I was talking about, but I do want to know what you guys think. I know this is a very popular moment in the series for most people. Pretty much everyone loves this moment, and everyone I know has some type of feelings about it, maybe even different interpretations of what it meant exactly and what you're supposed to take from it. So I do want to hear your opinions down below. Leave a comment, you know, leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new. I will have my PayPal link in the description so you can donate to having my story made into its own manga, because I need to hire an artist for that. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Peace.